What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru. Let's do a little thanking and all that good stuff. Our patrons over on Patreon, none of this is possible. None of anything we do is really, truly possible without the support and the love from all you guys. So real quick, we just want to jump in, thank a few people. Our Platinum Executive Producer, Corey Hicks. Thank you, sir. Gold Executive Producer, Sheldon Benedict. Our executive producers, Nick Militia, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Jesse Armstrong, Glucko Schaefer, David Ray, Mike Drummy, my God, I need to take a breath, Brendan Myers, Joey Hera. We also have 2 new Patreon members since the last time. I want to give a quick shout out to Zelfred Guerrero. Any relation to Eddie Guerrero? I don't know, probably not. And then Aaron...
A fictional video game character.
Eddie Guerrero's a wrestler.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought it was that guy from Tekken.
Don't interrupt my stuff. And Aaron Daughtry. With that, welcome to the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend in all the land, Toby Thornton. What is up, Toby?
I was thinking of Eddie Gordo, not Eddie Guerrero.
You know what? You totally ruined it. You are to be quiet during my, whatever you want to call it, Ramble Fest.
Your spiel. That
is nonsense. I don't do that to you. Or I didn't do that to you.
You used to distract me back in the day, Bobby.
No, I would drop something by mistake, and
you'd accidentally, on purpose, knock over your empty water bottle just to throw me off.
I didn't totally interrupt the thing and stop you when you're on a run. I would do it at the very beginning, not in the middle or the end. Oh, what trash! What kind of shit?
You know what? I noticed you said Mike Drummy when you was reading out the executive producers. You didn't say Michael Drummy.
I know, I normally say Michael, don't I? Yeah. I'm sorry, Michael. My bad. He likes when I say that to him. See, that's the type of friendship we have. We can say whatever. He can call me Bay, and I don't get upset. And I can call him Michael, and he doesn't get upset. It's just the kind of relationship we have.
Why don't you just arrange a hotel then, Bobby? Come on.
Maybe it's already been arranged. Maybe that's where we're at. You just don't know. We got to keep. See, we can't keep you. We have to keep you in the dark because you get upset when
Yeah, where's my invite?
Exactly. There is no invite for Toby.
I'll bring the camera.
There is no invite for Toby. Bobby.
Bobby.
So last night I had Erie Pancake on the show, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling you before the show that she's from England.
What part of England?
I didn't even ask her that. But she lives in Norway. And I should have asked her that. You know what? I should have, but whatever. So at one point, we start talking about you a little bit. And then really? I'm like, yeah, I like to mock Toby when he uses my name with a British accent. So she made me do it. She made me say it like I do. And she goes, the hell?
Yeah.
So I go, yeah, someone told me before, like, I make it sound like Ringo Starr. And she's like, yeah, what do we all sound like Ringo Starr?
Yeah.
So I was like, pretty much, yeah, you all sound the same. It was funny. I think you'll enjoy it. It was good. It was a good show.
Yeah, I can't wait to listen.
But let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
Shout out!
Oh, good Lord, don't start that. What are you geeking out about?
I'm geeking out about 2 things. I'm going to cheat, Bobby. I know you hate it. Oh, you got your massive cup again, haven't you, Bobby? Your huge cup. Go and do it. Oh, man.
You're sick.
I am. So one thing I'm geeking out about is I've just finished my Greatest Games That No One Loves episode 3 video. I'm going to be sending that off to you later today.
Nice.
And my second geek out is about this game that got announced called Moonlighter. And it's coming to Nintendo Switch next year as well as other platforms, but I'm getting it on Switch. Basically, it's one of those games where you play a shopkeeper, an RPG shopkeeper during the day, and then at night time you go out and explore dungeons to gather loot to sell in your shop. And it's top-down action RPG, just like old traditional Zelda. You know, it's that sort
Yeah.
of perspective, and it looks so great. It looks brilliant. I can't wait.
That'd be pretty cool. Sounds like a good time, like a Cheerio good time there.
Pop, very good.
That's what I was gonna say. Pop, whatever. Myself, I don't know if you can see behind me there, Tobes. See right
Yeah,
above my head.
I see her. I can see her.
Yeah, I've completed the 2, so I'm pretty happy about that. About
The two.
the 2. I got. For those that can't see, that aren't, whatever. I got Peach Rabbid, and
For
I
all
got
of our blind listeners.
Luigi Rabbid over on the other side. Also, I did get my Box Boy amiibo here. As you can see, I left him in the box. Mainly because I tend to keep all my Japanese amiibo in the boxes.
Yeah.
Just because I like the
Bobby,
text.
what a weird amiibo Box Boy is.
Very weird. Very obscure.
It's the
very
most
strange.
basic shape. It's a cube with legs.
It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It is extremely dumb.
It is dumb. But, like, for you and I, we both like this game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I had to have it.
You know what would be really good is if the amiibo had some clear boxes coming out the top, or like
that
in
been cool.
in an
Like
L shape or something. Like he was building himself, yeah.
Yeah, like they do in the game. That would be real. That, you know what? That would have been better than what they did with that thing, because that thing is corny as hell. But it actually gets me current on all the amiibo. So I own every single amiibo that has been released, minus the cards. I have a good portion of the cards, but that was a rabbit hole I just had to get out of quick. I have the final 2 pieces I don't currently have in my possession on the way, and those are the 2 new Fire Emblem ones. They will be here Monday. Thank you, GameStop, for not getting them here launch day. But whatever, it is what it is. I'll get them Monday, and then I will be up to date, complete, until November 10th, when the Breath of the Wild Champions come out, which I have those all pre-ordered as well.
I had them pre-ordered.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you finally get them?
I actually got those ones.
Oh, so you stopped crying about it now?
Well, no, I'm still crying about the free Zelda ones before that I didn't get, and still haven't been able to
And they
get.
never came back up at all.
Nope. And
see, your problem is you keep them in the box.
Yeah, I haven't got the Metroid ones. I want them, but they're nowhere to be seen.
I was going to say, do you want them?
Yeah, and the last of the Smash amiibo as well. I'm missing 4 of those, and they're just not available. So,
it's weird how it got real weird again, right?
Yeah, it is weird.
I also have the Mario ones on pre-order.
Yeah,
the 3. I think it comes in a 3-pack, I believe, is what I got. So I have those. I mean, I have so many that are... But I really think that Amiibo is going to disappear. I think it's about done.
Do you think that Nintendo aren't pushing them in the games as much as they used to? Like, when the Wii U was sort of reaching the end of its life, every single Wii U game had the Amiibo functionality in the trailer or in the gameplay, like live streams and stuff. Like, they were really pushing the compatibility there. But Switch games,
I don't think there's much difference. They just don't. I mean, let's be honest. Every game that they've put out so far, other than ARMS, offers Amiibo functionality.
Yeah, but it seems like it's just
they're just not cramming it down your throat like they were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
with the other one, like the biggest one is definitely Mario Maker, where you could use every single Amiibo. I mean, with Zelda Breath of the Wild, you could use every single one. I mean, you could use it in Skyrim. You know what I mean? Like, they're basically they're putting the functionality in different games. It's just, I don't know. It's
what about Doom?
I don't think we get any functionality with that. What do you scan in? You get like an evil looking Rosalina.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a demon Yoshi will appear and you have to blast it in the face.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that they're it feels weird. Feels like they're probably going to be done at some point here. I don't know when, but it just feels like it's kind of dissipating. Like, okay, so in the United States, the kiosk that I have over there, they were in all stores. Like, you could go to Target and they had them. You went to Best Buy, they had it. Walmart, GameStop, like every major retailer, Toys R Us, everybody that sold Amiibo had one of those. And they're all getting pulled out now. And they're not, you go into stores and they're not there anymore. Now, part of it is they're being replaced by these big TVs and these Joy-Cons and all this, and Mario Odyssey is playing. Which, speaking of which, probably going to run out to a couple of stores today to see if they have it there, because I would like to play, just to try it. You know, it comes out Friday, but I would like to just try it.
I am media blackout on Odyssey.
What media blackout is there?
I have seen only the footage from E3, the trailer that they showed. I didn't watch any of the live streams, and no trailers since then.
You didn't watch
I don't want to know anything about it. So, yeah.
You didn't watch the Nintendo World Championships?
No.
Okay. There was a little bit in there, too. It was the final game, obviously. My thing is like, apparently some people that got review copies have been leaking stuff. And apparently Commonwealth Realm was going to do a video on it because they were pretty agitated with it. But I feel like, man, you're hurting everybody else, because it's going to get to the point where Nintendo's just like, yeah, we're not going to give out copies anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like just stupidity. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't know. I hope they find out who did it and then just shuts them down, and that's just is what it is. But we'll see. It is what it is.
Yeah, it sucks.
Anyway, let's jump into our topics here. I will go first this week, since you went first last week with that horrid topic about PlayStation 1 Classic nonsense.
People like that topic, Willie.
I don't know. I think you're imagining things. So this past week we got a release of a 4.0 update on the Nintendo Switch. We are now allowed to use like wireless headsets that have like a USB connection, meaning like the Sony Golds. We can record small clips of video footage now. I feel like this is kind of showing that Nintendo, the last 6 months, the console wasn't what it was. It was kind of half-baked. It wasn't where it needed to be. I wanted to say two things. Like, one, do you feel that's true? Two, do you feel like what more can get added or what more will be coming?
Yeah.
So we'll start with that.
So I think that the console was definitely a little underbaked. I talked about it on the We the Gamer cast with Sean Capri, my feelings on that. But at the same time, I feel like every console sort of iterates as it goes, updates its system firmware. You know, PlayStation 4 has added things over the years that it didn't launch with, and I'm sure Xbox has as well. So it's not like it's they're adding things that should have been there from the start. I mean, you could argue that, but it's just they're going to keep adding to it over time. And I think we'll see a few things coming up, hopefully in the not too distant future. I hope that we see custom themes for the home screen. A lot. Basically, I want to see a lot of things that the 3DS had.
Yeah.
Folders for your games, especially now since we're getting so many games coming out for the Switch every single week, and the more games you buy, the harder it is to find those games on your screen. Even when the screen sort of pops down and you've got multiple rows of games to choose from, I think it'd just be easier to be able to sort them into folders, like alphabetical or something, Yeah.
I feel like it's rather half baked. When I think back to different consoles, like I think back to, you just look at the PS4, like that thing didn't allow for people to use external hard drives. Now it does. Look at the Wii U, when you were allowed to use external hard drives from the beginning, but you weren't. The voice chat got kind of added in. The video stuff that came in with Mario Kart, like you could actually record stuff and then post it on the internet. That was all done pre-downloading or pre-ordering games. That all started to come to the Wii U, which now is in the Switch in this new 4.0. So I feel like a lot of the things, the good things that were on the Wii U, will start to make its way over as we move on. I think it's only a matter of time now, I really truly believe, until we find out that like Netflix and Hulu and all them will be on there, because a lot of people are clamoring for that. I'm going to call this, because I really feel like this is going to happen. I feel like voice chat is going to get baked in.
Yeah,
on a
I
console.
agree. Yeah.
Because with the headset, to me, that's a huge tell.
Yeah.
Because, and again, it's right back to what I've been saying a lot of times in my Nintendo Talk videos is Nintendo seems to be listening. When people are complaining about certain things, they seem to just eventually just release a patch and fix it. This was a complaint when it first came out, like, why can't I use wireless headsets? Why can't I, you know what I mean? And now you can, you know, and it's like, this is good. Like, I was actually playing last night with my Sony Golds, and I was like, I enjoy this, man. This is a lot of fun, man, and it's, you know, it's a lot of, it's just really good. Because I'm not plugged in. Like, a lot of times when I sit here and play right here, I'm plugged in to the TV, or I'm not at all. And it's like, this is nice that, like, I can actually do it and move and not worry about jerking the cord or any of that. Like, it's nice. I like it a lot.
So if they do add TV apps, do you think that you will be able to suspend your game and have that running in the background whilst you're using Netflix or Amazon or whatever? Or do you think it will close the game entirely?
It'll close the game. It'll close the game entirely. Just like when you go to, like, a different game. Although, when you run the eShop, if I'm not mistaken, the eShop kind of puts the game in the background.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah.
But I think you're also talking about an app compared to a store.
Yeah, because on PS4, you can just have your game running at the same time and just come back to it, which is good. But I'm not sure if the Switch is going to be able to do that, especially if they want to keep it snappy like it is at the moment.
It is so snappy, man. It is really, and that's the only thing I hope that doesn't change. Like, I'm cool with the folders idea. I'm cool with the themes idea, as long as it doesn't sacrifice how quick it is in and out.
Yeah, we don't want it to get too bloated with features.
No, man, because it is so fast. It is so. The only thing that's quicker in my mind is the 3DS. 3DS is the fastest thing in the world. Like,
well, yeah, I suppose, because you can just
close
the
clamshell. Yeah, man, you close the clamshell, it shuts it down, you open up, you're right back in.
I don't know, I mean, like, when you take the console out of the dock, even if it's not on the TV, if your TV's off and you just pick it out of the dock, the screen comes on straight away, and you just press A and you're in a game.
Well,
so
you're not in the game. You're not playing the game. Like, literally, you can
press. There's a button. We're being pedantic. There is a button to press before you get in.
You push a button, you pick what you want, you go in. Like, I'm saying, like,
if the game is suspended when you last put it in the dock, then you can take it out and play it straight away.
Toby, you go like this, and you're right back into the game.
I'm know, Bobby. Why are we arguing about?
Because you're nitpicking. There's no quicker thing than the 3DS. Just say yes. You're right, Bobby. Thank you, and move along.
Let's just move on.
No, because you know I'm right. That's why.
I'm not getting into this argument.
Because you're gonna lose. That's why. Drink your water. Go ahead.
Are we doing mine now?
No, not yet. Who said we're done mine yet? Relax.
Well, I don't know. Have you got more ideas, Bobby? What about streaming? What about Twitch?
That's what I want to get into. Like, I feel like the video is very short. 30-second clips is not. And here's the other thing. I was watching GameXplain do it, and, like, you have to hold it down for it to go. And I feel like it's not seamless. Like, I almost... Like, I get, like, with ARMS, because you're in a match and it's online, and if you hit it and it takes you to another screen and all that, that's a problem. But I hope, like, when you're playing Mario, if I'm running, and maybe I want the last 30 seconds recorded or whatever, if I push a button, it, like, pauses the game. And then, because if you watch GameXplain's video, right, he's fighting a girl, he's fighting Ribbon Girl, right? And he goes to save, and she hits him. Because his finger's off the thumb.
Yeah, so that's definitely something they need to do. For offline games, the game needs to suspend whilst you save the clip. I believe that.
I wouldn't mind, too, if, like, how PlayStation does it.
Yeah. Where
you push the button, and it pulls up the last 15 minutes. It just records automatically the last 15 minutes, and then you can go in and edit stuff out.
Yeah, and you can choose on PlayStation, you can say 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, or 30-minute clips.
Yeah.
So if they can extend that, that'd be great. And also if they made it so it wasn't select games, like that's a bit weird that they're saying, oh, you can only do this on select games at the moment. I know it's kind of it feels like, oh, this is the beta launch for it, and we're just testing it out. But you know, I want to be able to do it on Stardew Valley. I know that there's not much exciting that happens within 30 seconds in that game, but you know, when you can do longer periods of recording, then that'd be great.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to happen. Streaming is a little touchy because they don't want you streaming now. and they've come out and said that. So it makes me wonder, like, is that going to not happen ever? I'm kind of curious about how they handle that and move forward with that. It'll be interesting as time moves forward, I think.
Yeah, I hope they change their ways with that.
Yeah.
You know, you said that they're coming around with feedback and stuff. I hope they hear what the fans are saying about streaming and
Yeah, I think that I just think they're really scared of catching back flack from the whole PewDiePie thing. Like, I think that at a time they were like, okay, but I think when the PewDiePie thing went down, they kind of were like, okay, we're gonna set this over here. We're not ready to discuss this. We're gonna push this to the side, keep moving forward with our agenda, and then maybe we'll get back to it at some point. So it's sad to see that happen, but what can you do? It is
yeah.
what it is. So
I think streaming might be better as well in a lot of ways anyway, because the micro SD card thing, if you haven't got a very large card or it's full of games, then where are you going to save your video clips to? Whereas if you're streaming, then you don't have to worry about space like
it's
that.
going to save right to you, like YouTube or Twitch or
Yeah.
wherever you put it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it'd be nice if they did some stuff like that. I'm happy with the direction. I'm definitely happy with where it's going and where I see it going.
Yeah.
Um,
Steady improvements. That's what
That's
we
the thing. Like, we're only up to. I mean, it's 6 months in, right? We've had our 4th update now, and like that's the thing. Like the updates feel like there's something to them each time you get one. So that's good. You know what I mean? The one thing I really wish they would do, an update they would do, is put a true activity log in there. That's the one thing I love about the 3DS and the Wii U, was I could click it and see how much time I legitimately put into games.
Yeah.
And it would be true to even like the app, the parental app, everybody's like, oh, well, that's garbage too. Like there's no like overall. It's just you have to go add everything up, and it's like it's not true to form. It's not that good.
Yeah, it was great on the Wii U where you could look. Was it the Wii U or the Wii where you could look in depth for all the different games?
Oh, Wii U, man! You like click it, right? So you click it would show you daily, and then you click it, and it would bring up like you'd pick a game, and it would bring all the games up, and then it would like show you like
you could
go
order
and
it.
look.
Yeah.
You
And
could
it shows
order
you
it too.
average playtime,
Yep.
maximum playtime.
Yeah, and with the 3DS on that one, it actually shows you like your top ranked games.
Yeah.
Like it would actually show you like, hey, this is number 1, 2, and 3, and then it would also show you like number 1, 2, and 3 of like how many times you played a game and over your average play time on a game. Like I like that stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool to go in there and go like, hey man, I put this much time into it.
It's very nerdy, but it's a cool feature.
It's just it's something for the geeks like us. Tobes, what's your topic?
So with EA closing down Visceral, with all intents and purposes cancelling their Star Wars game, you can say that they're changing directions, but what that game was is no more. So, and the way they sort of their excuse for that is the industry trends are changing. They want to take the game in a different direction. Really, it's not going to be a single player game, and I'm wondering if this is sort of the start of a change in single player games going away from the industry, people focusing more on online only games, heavily multiplayer games with loot boxes and everything. Are these big single player games going to become a rarity?
I hope not. I was really disappointed when I heard this news. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the biggest Star Wars fan there is. But I'll be honest with you, these games I was really interested in, especially with Amy Hennig working on. That's the one that got canceled, right?
Yeah.
It was her game that got canceled. So, like, I feel like, she came from Naughty Dog over to EA, and I don't know whether she got fired or not, or if they put her someplace else, or what they did, but, like, I just don't like this whole trend. I don't like what EA did here at all. It's almost like it feels like they're the company that wants to make this like everything's going to be multiplayer, and I don't feel like that's the way every game should be. Like you should be able to play a game in home by yourself, enjoy it, talk to your friends about it and such. Like, because saying that is like saying we wouldn't be getting a new Mario game or we wouldn't get a new Zelda game, and it's like, really, like I I love those experiences. Like I love, I love Last of Us and Uncharted and all that. Like if they were to sit there and go like, "Hey guys, we're gonna scrap on," like when they basically scrapped Uncharted 4 and rebooted or restarted everything from the ground up, that'd be almost like them coming in and just shutting it down. Going, we decide we're gonna make this a multiplayer game instead. I'd have been like, no, man, I don't want to play that way. Like that's not. I'm happy for people that enjoy that type of game, but you're already giving them that with Battlefront. What more in the Star Wars universe do you need to do? You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. I don't know. Like I guess if you want to make a Destiny type game, okay, that's fine. But like this was a single player. And here's the other thing, dude. They're working on that game for years. For years, legit. Like they teased this 2 E3s ago.
Yeah.
Like this whole big thing, and they couldn't really show much because it was spoilers to the new movies and stuff, so they had to they couldn't show us anything. And it's like now it's all gone. Like I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. Just doesn't. I feel like it's a waste of money too on their part. Like, was it that bad that you shut it down? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like today games are more expensive than ever to make, but at the same time, the way that publishers monetize games and they have DLC and loot boxes and season passes, they are sort of making up in different ways for the extra expense that they're having to do now. And that's fine for like the really big games, which I think Star Wars would have been one of them games. I don't think they would have had trouble making their money back on that, even with them paying for the license and stuff.
Yeah,
I just feel like that lately publishers are becoming very, very greedy. Yeah. Like with FIFA, they make so much money on their Ultimate Team microtransactions.
Yep.
I heard that they make over $100 million just on those transactions.
Yeah.
And it feels like, they're coming up with these excuses. Oh, it's so hard to make money on games these days. But then companies like that are just rolling in cash from these little microtransactions.
Yeah.
And it affects the game design. And it hurts me so much when I hear Shadow of War. The game is designed in such a way to make you want to spend money to have an enjoyable experience. They force you to grind for longer to get things in games. You can save time, spend a bit of cash, and stop grinding. But there shouldn't be grinding in the first place. If grinding's not fun, don't put it in the game. And I feel like more and more games are doing that lately, and it's painful to see that these single player games are being affected like that. I think that DLC works if it's done well, and I think that Nintendo has shown that, especially with Mario Kart 8. That's a fantastic way to make extra money on that game without much more effort and time involved. I think Zelda's doing a good job, and we've still got to see what's in the next bit of DLC for that. But there's no microtransactions in Zelda, is there?
No.
And I think that games like that can exist if they play it smartly and they give extra content that people actually enjoy paying for.
Yeah.
And not just targeting gambling with microtransactions or wows, as they're called. People that spend a lot of money on a single game like that. So yeah, it's interesting to see, but
I just don't understand it really. It boggles my mind to think that like this is the future, and sadly, it's like I don't think the problem is this: people complain about EA a lot. And they feel like they're a greedy company, and they feel like they're always voted like one of the most hated companies in gaming. Why do they make so much money then? It's such a hypocritical bubble that we're in, where all these gamers trash EA, and then they go buy all their stuff, and they buy, like I bought FIFA 18, right? I didn't go buy microtransactions on that game, and I'm not going to. You know what I mean? Like, no, like I'm not supporting that type of gaming. Like I'm going to buy the game because I enjoy the game, but I'm not like when I got news for you. Like when Faye comes out, when it comes out, like I know it's an EA published game. I'll buy it because I love what Joint Games does and all that. But if they loaded microtransactions into that, I wouldn't buy a one. I care less. It's not how I want to play my games.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm about, and it's like, if they bring Madden, I'll buy Madden because I enjoy playing football games and whatever, but I won't do the microtransaction stuff. Like, that's not what it's about. And if you don't like what's going on, stop supporting it. Stop buying it. Like, you're the problem. And that's the thing that blows me away. Like, I get if you really truly enjoy it, okay. But if you're not a fan of this style stuff, don't support it at all. Don't sit there and go buy a game like Battlefront and then go buy all this stuff, all this DLC content and stuff. It just, or the loot boxes and things like that. Like, you're making it harder on yourself because you support stuff like this, and then guess what happens? Now you lose.
I'd say don't encourage that behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of putting things in games like that. And the saddest thing is the developers, not the publishers. Like, the publishers are fine. They've got all the money. They've got to make all the decisions. The poor developers that have their studios shut down, and they're shuffled onto other projects. That is awful. And
if I was Nintendo, I would bring every one of them people right on board, and I would say, start making a game for us now. Like, now, what the game you were building, make it for us. We'll change the, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Like, whatever you were doing over there, we're going to bring it. Like, they, honestly, let's be honest here. That game could be the next Metroid game. You know what I mean? Like, they could easily just, you'd have to tone some stuff down with the lightsaber battles and all that, but, like, it's a sci-fi game, essentially. They could easily just be like, okay, guys, you come work with us. You're going to start working on Metroid Prime or whatever it might be. Divvy them up. Make a new IP. Do something. You know what I mean? Like, think about GoldenEye when they had GoldenEye, and then that license got pulled away, and then they went and made Perfect Dark. Do the same thing.
You know what I hope? I hope that more studios, more developers go independent, and that they don't rely on big name publishers to support their games. Because I think that, small independent studios that we love at the moment, they are growing in size. Their games are getting bigger and better all the time. And I believe that a lot of these independent studios in the next 10 years will be making those big games. Like, the old mid-tier games are going to be replaced by these independent developers. And I hope that people support that, and these studios continue to exist, and they don't get bought up by big publishers and then squeeze the life out of them and then shut down. Like, I hope that the independent developers are the people that continue to make these single player experiences that we all love.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, so let's jump into hot off the presses now. This is where Toby brings 3 Sony stories. I bring 3 Nintendo stories. He picks a Nintendo story he wants to hear. I pick the Sony story that I want to hear. I'll go first. So, Limited Run gets approval for Switch. Peach Amiibo unlocks for Odyssey. And Fire Emblem Warrior DLC content.
Limited Run, please.
Okay. So, coming off the pages of my boy Josue Ponce Din Mobile News, yesterday Limited Run tweeted out that they were excited to announce that we've been approved to publish retail games on the Nintendo Switch. Our first release will hit in 2018. So, publisher Limited Run Games are known to bring limited physical copies to indie games across different platforms, and now they've been approved to do it on the Nintendo Switch. Limited Run Games will publish its first Nintendo Switch title in 2018, and their plans are focused on Switch exclusives. Great news overall, and we're excited. All to come.
So they don't say what that first game is.
They don't say what that first game is.
I wonder.
Yeah. So I was talking to Nick Militia last night from Next Level Games, and we were getting into this a little bit, and he was saying, like, he just doesn't like the format that Limited Run does. Like, they basically put out, they'll say, like, hey, we got 2,000 games coming, and that's it. Where it's one of those things, like, you would prefer it to be like, hey, just take pre-orders for a month, and then go, okay, we're going to make these games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a little, especially if it's something you really want.
Yeah.
You got to pay a lot. You pay very close attention to it because
Yeah,
they'll blow
definitely.
out of them quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that it's nice having, knowing that it's going to be a collectible. It's, limited run games by very definition. There's a small amount of them that are made. But I think that Nick's idea of having just take the pre-orders and make however many pre-orders there are, I think that sounds good. But what if they take 1,000 pre-orders of a game, but then they get 400 people cancel? Then they've got these extra games. Like, they're going to have to sell those as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think that's great.
I'm
Great
sorry.
news.
I'm sorry. We'll talk about it afterwards. Someone messaged me.
All right.
It's just, anyway,
right,
go,
so-
what's your stories?
My news stories. $46,000 PlayStation bundle. Sony Music to publish a game on Switch. And God of War director tweets out in defense of single-player games.
Since that's a theme, let's go with that one.
All right. So the let's see, what's his name? Corey Barlog tweets out, I love linear single-player games. It saddens me when the word linear is considered a bad thing. You can have agency in a linear story game. And, that's an interesting tweet from a developer like that, because he's a big name in the industry.
Yeah.
And his game is a large single-player game.
Yeah,
There's
it is.
no multiplayer in that. And, they've got the help of Sony behind them. So they don't have as much of the pressures of, having to make so much of a profit. That Sony, obviously Sony wants a profit, but if they're selling consoles from this game, then it's all the better for them. But, if there's people like that believe in large single player experiences, then, I don't buy these excuses that you can't make those games. And it goes to show that other people feel that way too. So.
Yeah, I agree. I just hope it doesn't. I hope it continues the path we are right now. I hope that EA doesn't win in the end, and we see these things shutting down. That's ultimately where we're at. So let's jump into what we're playing, Tobes. What are you playing so far? Anything
Just
good?
endless amounts of Stardew Valley.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So it's getting on you, huh?
Yeah. I can't stop playing that game. I'm in mid-autumn or fall, as you call it in the United States. I love the there's a meta game to it in making money. Like, if you want to make the most money, then there's certain ways you can plant things. If you want to make more money in a month, then buy the seeds that will produce multiple harvests over and over.
Yes,
They'll keep producing. So buy those and plant those day one, and then you'll get the most money out of that. But also, don't just do that. You need to strategize a bit. You need to have multiple varieties of fruit and veg that you're growing, because you get people asking for certain things, and if they ask for something near the end of the month, you might not have time to grow it to fulfill that side quest. So, and you can just go fishing and foraging and mining. There's just all these different aspects to the game, and I've started to upgrade my house now and add animals to the farm. I've got 2 chickens. One's called KFC. One's called Char Grill.
Oh my god!
So they're producing eggs for me every day, and I can't wait till I can get some cows and call them like Angus Burger or whatever.
Did you watch my Nintendo Talk with Marissa Roberto this week?
No.
You should check it out. So I had Marissa Roberto on.
Yeah.
And she's a huge Stardew Valley fan.
Yeah.
So we started talking some Stardew Valley stuff in it, and she enlightened me on how to, play the game and what I should be doing, and it's really, really good chat. I think you'd enjoy it. But yeah, man, it's that game. I've been playing that game as well. It's so good. It is so good. I like it a lot. So I've been
I
putting
tell you
some
what
time.
though, I've come across some bugs lately in that
Oh,
game.
there's definitely some bugs in
There's
it.
a lot of bugs in it,
Yeah.
man. It's starting to annoy me a bit because it feels unpolished.
Hmm.
Um, like sometimes you can go to harvest some corn or something, and or anything. Sometimes you press the button to pick it out of the ground, and a message will pop up saying, "I haven't encountered any crows today." And it's like
Yeah.
I'm not talking to a scarecrow. I'm trying to pull some fruit out of the ground.
Yeah.
Or when you're in the menus and you're checking out the tree, the where you bring the crops and stuff
Yeah.
for the, and if you back out of it, then all of the labels for all the things have changed,
Hmm.
and it's little things like that, just a little bit annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can look past it. It's a really good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
I've been playing some Fire Emblem Warriors this week.
How is
So
it?
I like it, man. I think they've done some really unique things with this game.
How's the frame rate?
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on. I don't know how, but if anybody's complaining about it, I didn't hear any complaints about it. It's spot on. I feel like it's a better Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes. It's voice acting throughout. It also you've played Fire Emblem games before, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it does this thing where it gives you very Fire Emblem esque. It makes you feel like you're playing a Fire Emblem game, an
Yeah.
action Fire Emblem game. Meaning this, one, it has the wheel. So if I have a sword, I'm vulnerable against a spear, but I'm stronger than an axe. An axe is stronger than a spear. So that's kind of cool. Like it shows that aspect to it. Number two, the map. So you remember in Hyrule Warriors, like you start off and you have to go and through and do certain things. In this, you literally will set up where you want your forces to go. So if you have a 4-man party, you go, okay, I want you in the top left-hand corner. I want you over here. I want you over here. You over here. Then it's go.
That's
Now,
cool. Yeah.
when I'm playing, if let's say I have, let's say I'm playing Chrome or Crom, and I have Marth over in the corner, and Marth is getting beat up. I can flip the D-pad, and it'll change me to Marth. Now I'm Marth, and I start, taking over the fort or whatever.
Okay.
So you can move around quicker.
I got a question. Hyrule Warriors, I think the strength to that game was all the different characters and how unique they were. Their attacks were all different. And their weapons and that were unique to them. But in Fire Emblem, you have like swords, lances, arrows and stuff. Like, how unique are each character to play?
I feel like so far I've only been using a couple, but they feel different. Like when I use I forget some of the names, but like Crom he's a sword fighter, but he's strong and it's like real quick. You see you're building up, and then there's a girl Lisa who has an axe. She's different. Like you see
But what about
their
between,
specials
like,
are different.
So is it just their specials? Because if you have two people that are sword wielders, are their basic attacks the
They
same?
feel different. They feel different. It's not like it's just you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's all the same thing over and over. It's a very repetitive type game, that part of it. But it just,
I suppose their personalities play a big part in it.
yes,
Like,
and they're constantly talking between each other. Like it's very Fire Emblem. It's very chatty. So I like that. Like,
can you partner up like you can in Fire Emblem?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can partner up and do like a combo attacks and stuff. And
Is there permadeath?
there is an option to play with permadeath.
Wow.
There is an option to play with permadeath.
Yeah.
So I didn't pick that one. I picked casual. But yes, that's the other thing. You can play permadeath when you're doing the story mode. So when you're playing Fire Emblem, they have the cutscenes, and then when it goes to just like mild chat in between, they didn't really do this thing where it's drawings of the characters, and they pop up on the screen. Same thing, except for rather than just dialogue, it's actually voice acted out.
Yeah.
So really, and the art and the oh man, it looks so gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
It really does. It blew me away. I was surprised how pretty it looks.
Yeah, I've not seen much of this game, to be honest.
Me neither. And man, I tell you what, they should have showed more because it's a good game. I like it. I'm a fan of the Fire Emblem series. I liked Hyrule Warriors. I didn't hate Hyrule Warriors. I actually liked it a lot. I thought it was a fun game. I like this. I like this a lot, man. And it's,
Have you been playing Yono?
No. Uh,
Why not?
Because I don't want to play with Joy-Cons.
Oh, so you're waiting for the Pro Controller update, if there is one.
Yeah. Well, they said they're working on it, but
Okay.
I can't. I don't know why. I just don't like playing with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to buy it if it doesn't have Pro Controller support.
Yeah. My main thing is this, is like, I don't know why. I just don't like playing detached that way, unless I'm playing in tabletop mode. If I'm playing on my TV, I just want to play with a Pro Controller.
Yeah,
it's just
I totally
something.
Get that. Yeah,
and I'm probably being a baby when it comes to that.
No,
it's just what I'm comfortable with right now,
exactly,
and it's what I want. I like the feel of the sticks on the Pro Controller, and I don't like the feel of the sticks on the Joy-Cons. It's just they feel a little flimsy. Now, if I have to use him, I do, but I got so many other games to play right now that I don't have to play Yono right now. I have it. I'll play it eventually. I did play it a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes to get a feel for it. It feels kind of cool. Looks pretty. It's a, seems cute. But I haven't put a lot of time in to really give a full determination on it. So.
I'll wait until there's an update.
Yeah. So, anything else you're playing, or is that it?
Not that I'm playing. Karina did start Fallout 4 though.
Really?
Yeah, finally. It's been sitting on my PlayStation for months.
What'd she say so far?
I think she's enjoying it. She's a little bit intimidated because she doesn't play a lot of first-person shooters really at all. Yeah. So she couldn't really get on with the VATS system, so she's just playing it like a action shooter. She killed some bugs and everything, and she thought it was really creepy, but she said it was a little bit difficult. So I've told her to just put the difficulty down to whatever she needs it to be. So
the other thing too is if she can learn the VAT system, I think that she'll be better, because the VAT system slows everything down.
Yeah,
so you can pick where you want to shoot and.
Yeah, I assume it defaults to normal difficulty. I just said put it on very easy and just see if you
enjoy the game. Just go enjoy the game. You don't have to be a rock star and go in here and play it super hard or anything like that. I'd have to find out what Tony played at. I don't know, but I don't think she was going in at super difficulty. You know what I mean? Like, I think she was just playing normal probably.
Yeah.
But when she learned the VAT system, holy crap. Just be prepared for Karina to get excited to be sleeping around, because it happens.
All right. I'll tell you what else. I played.
When she tells you she's got to go meet her boyfriend and stuff, like, it starts to get a little annoying, you know.
Yeah. I played a bit more Uncharted Lost Legacy the other day, and because I haven't played it in a while, and I'm a bit conflicted about it now. I was really loving it at first, but I'm getting a bit sick of it. A bit like. Because it's just more Uncharted, and when they first revealed it, I thought it was going to be quite different, because they're like sneaking through the streets at night with the hood up and everything, and it just turns out it's more Uncharted 4. Like, you could put Nathan Drake in that spot and it would be identical.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm a little bit annoyed is there's a puzzle bit that's just infuriating, and it's a trial and error puzzle, basically. Like, I don't think it's a spoiler because it's not that far in.
Just get on with it. Come on.
You're jumping across these like poles that are sticking out of the floor, and there's these statues that attack you if you step on the wrong one, basically. And you've got to think ahead and move to the right places to get through. And you do it once, and then you go into the next room, and there's another version with 2 statues, and then you do that. And then there's another room, and it's got 3 statues, and you think, all right, third one, just get it out of the way, done. And then you go around the corner, there's another room with 4 statues, and it's like, come on, like, you're rinsing this puzzle idea to the absolute limit, and it's not fun. It's frustrating, because you get whacked, you lose most of your health, you fall to the floor, you suddenly regain all your health because you're magic, and then you try again. There's like, the only penalty is time, and it just frustrates the hell out of me. Like, there was nothing like that in the Uncharted 4 or any other Uncharted game. For some reason, this puzzle is in this game, and therefore it was brilliant, but it's not. It's
Meanwhile, you still haven't beat Zelda.
Yeah, I've been thinking about Zelda a lot lately.
You're a real piece of work.
I'm gonna beat it before the end of the year. Trust
Yeah,
me.
okay, whatever.
Yeah, I will.
It's going to go down as the first Zelda game you haven't beat.
I haven't beat the original Zelda or Zelda 2,
Well, that's
and
because you're a loser.
I never will because I don't like those games very much.
How do you not like the original?
I don't know, Bobby.
How do you not like the original?
It doesn't feel that great to play to me. I didn't grow up with it, Bobby. That's why.
That is all. Thank you guys for listening to us on iTunes, dayspace.com, Google Play, all that good stuff. Checking us out on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Nintendo Guru. Check us out over on Patreon, patreon.com/Make Us Better. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, all of our executive producers. We appreciate and love you all. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. Follow Toby over at Toby's_take. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Later, masturbators.